Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra is a divisive figure in his homeland. His opponents and supporters have staged mass demonstrations that have at times turned violent. He became the first Thai Prime Minister to serve a full term in office and win a second. He continues to have a lot of support in many rural areas of Thailand, particularly in the northeast, where his healthcare programs for the poor and assistance for farmers were especially popular. But in 2006, facing increasing scrutiny over financial dealings, the billionaire was ousted in a military coup while he was in the United States. Thaksin eventually returned to Thailand, but fled again in 2008 to avoid a 2-year jail term for corruption. His supporters regularly campaigned to bring him back, and in one of Thailand's darkest periods, more than 90 people were killed last year in clashes between protesters and the army. This year, the current Prime Minister and leader of the Democrat Party, Abhisit Wejchachiwa, called an early election to be held in July. It provides an opportunity for Thaksin's Pheu Thai party, which is now led by his youngest sister, Yingluck Shinawatra, to retake control of the country. But Thaksin remains, for now, far away in Dubai, where he's living in self-imposed exile, and that's where we caught up with him.
Well, Thaksin Shinawatra, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Your country, Thailand, is very much in election mode right now, an election that is almost all about you, which is a bit strange, really, considering you're not even there, you're here in Dubai. So how on earth did your country and you get to this point?
Well, because of the coup d'etat that happened in 2006, it's against the will of the people. Because normally the coup d'etat that happened in Thailand is coup d'etat against unpopular government. But the coup d'etat that took place in Thailand in 2006 against the government that is still very popular and did a lot of good things for the people. So that's the reason why the people are not happy. And Thailand are peaceful. Right after the coup d'etat, you may look that's peaceful, but actually the discontent or dissatisfaction of the people is there.
We'll talk a little bit more about the coup and the election in a moment, but I'm interested in life for you here in Dubai. How has it been over the last few years? It must have been a fairly lonely existence for you.
Oh yes, definitely. I miss my home. I miss my country, miss my people, miss my family. So in the first year, it's very tough year for me. I feel very, very depressed. But second year, I can adapt myself a little bit, and then I went back home shortly and for 5 months. And after that, I'm get used to, and I adapt myself. And I'm hyperactive people. I don't want to just sit idle and do nothing. So I find something to do to kill times and then to be most constructive to my life.
I've heard you say many times how you have adapted yourself, like you say, to life overseas. You've made friends, you've made business acquaintances. Yes. But surely you would like nothing more than be able to be able to return back to Thailand.
Well, the important things is that I've been arranged unfairly, so I want my reputation back. I want to help the people who've been suffer after the coup d'etat. People been suffer for 5 years, and nobody cared them. And I think that it's time that the people had to express their will that this is what they want, and then how they want their country to be in the future.
Let's look back at the coup and what happened in the years after. You were found guilty of corruption and an abuse of power. But you say that those offences, those charges, those convictions were politically motivated. Why? Who wanted you out so badly in Thailand?
After military coup, they've set up a committee consists of all my political opponents, and they arrest me, and they use the process. They do it without due process of law. They don't observe the rule of law. They just try arrange and use whatever attacked by the Democrat, they bring that to become my offenses.
One of the key words, perhaps the key word of this election, this current election campaign, is reconciliation, trying to get the people of Thailand together, to
Yes.
reconcile the
Yes.
differences. Why don't you, for the sake of reconciliation, admit some wrongdoing while you were Prime Minister? Say sorry, and then perhaps the country might be able to move on.
I can say sorry. There's nobody perfect. When you lose the country for 6 years, you might create something that is not satisfactory to different sectors of the people. But democracy, what it's all about is democracy is the majority. Every time we have election, we win more and more majorities. And the last election, we won 377 before we been ousted by coup d'etat. That is 76% of the member parliaments. And when I did, maybe I gave some interview. I said that I may use, especially the case on the southern part of Thailand, I may use more iron fist than velvet glove. I said that if I were to go back, I will use more velvet glove, less iron fist. That is what I've been expressed in several interviews.
Sure, but the charges and the reason the coup took place was essentially because of corruption. But are you therefore acknowledging, I want to take you back to something you just said, are you acknowledging that there was some wrongdoing by you and your government while you were in power?
I don't think I did anything wrong, but maybe some officials, some ministers, which I don't know. Because, a lot of work, things going on, move very fast in Thailand during my time. And how can I may not look back enough. That is my fault. I not look back enough to go in details in so many things. But I trying to push the country ahead. But to me, they allege me of corrupt. But the allegation is about corrupting my own money. Not the, if you corrupt, you have to take the money from state coffers. But they took away my money.
But they allege that you changed laws to benefit the telecommunications industry because you owned ShinCorp.
No, I don't think I did that because of that. Because of the WTO. The WTO requires us to open up the telecommunication. So we have to amend the law accordingly. It's not because of my family owned a company, but because of the WTO is force us to do accordingly. So, and you know how they took away my money. They took away my family money because of the share price increase during my administration, which is all shares in the stock exchange increase. And the family's company also the share price increase in the same direction with the index of the stock exchange of Thailand. It's not anything irregular at all, but they just took away the money. That part is, and then plus the dividend, plus the interest interest earned. That is very unfair to us. I can say that the case that the court handed out the verdict is now proof that the civil court said that this is invalid. It's now that is like as if nothing happened. So why they jail me when there is nothing happened?
You are seen as a hero, if you like. A lot of people in the rural, the poorer communities seem to look up to you in Thailand. Do you see the irony there, given that you yourself are so wealthy, continue to be so wealthy, despite having a lot of your money seized by the government?
I'm self-made. I grew up in the rural, so I understand their obstacle, and I provide them with an opportunities. I try to get rid of all the obstacles for them to thrive. So that is the reason why they like me, and then the reason why I want to help them, because I'm gone through many difficulties in my life. So I want to bring them up like me. I don't want to let the people down because you are so successful. Why don't you help other people? That's my kind of thinking. And The government took away my money. They are stole my money. I'm not stealing. I'm not stole the money from the government, but the government stole my money. I've been in Forbes before I joined politics. That my wealth at that time is 2.2 billion, but now my family wealth reduced to only 1 billion.
Will you try to get that money back?
Well, I said that, I never think about any kind of personally, but if the process allow the fairness to be returned to those who've been bullied unfairly, that's another thing. But it's not my priority, not my objectives.
Well, you say that they stole your money. Surely any human being would want to get that money back.
Well, sometimes, when you've been stole something, you say, okay, let's go. So that is my style. I don't care much. I can earn more because I'm doing a lot of mining business now.
But why not go back, serve the 2-year jail term, which would have been over by now, a long time ago actually. Wouldn't you have been a much stronger figure sitting in a Bangkok jail cell to your supporters than running away, which is effectively what you've done?
I'm not running away, but this is not fair. The case that they arrest me or they sentence me for 2 years jail actually is nothing. According to Thai law, if one side of the spouse have to do any kind of agreement, you have to get permission from another side. My wife bought a land, and legally, openly, in open bid, and then she had, and the court said that she done nothing wrong, and when she need my approval to allow her as a spouse, as a husband, to allow the wife to sign the contract. And they said that because I used my Prime Minister ID card, so I'm wrong. So that is very big, is really like a Mickey Mouse court, actually. So this is not a normal procedure.
Let's get back to the election. Those red shirts, rightly or wrongly, they are associated with you. They created a lot of problems for Thailand last year, domestically, internationally. It looked very bad.
Look
and they are aligned with Thaksin Shinawatra.
Look very bad because they don't have PR. They don't have the...
They looked very bad because there were armed people on the streets of Bangkok, armed red shirts. There were red shirts allegedly...
How do they arm? You saw the arms? They have a barrier, yes, because they protect themselves. And when you see the crackdown, the government come with tanks, the government come with live ammunition, the government come with sniper, exactly like Gaddafi was being issued arrest warrant. This is exactly the government have done. They are there, they're waiting there, they have nothing, and then the government come with the live ammunition first and sniper, kill many people. Even they surrender themselves in the temple. In Buddhist, we regard that stay in the temple, you safe, your life safe. And then they shot them with sniper. So this is what we don't want to see anymore. That's the reason why we're asking for reconciliation. That's the reason for we asking for Thailand to be united, to be one nation, not to be divisive anymore. The divisive is actually come from the party who cannot win under democratic rules.
How can there be reconciliation when, as we are seeing now, you're still talking very passionately, as you should, I guess, about what happened last year?
Well,
and one of the proposals is for an amnesty for all political offences since the coup in 2006 that your party is proposing if it wins this election. Will that amnesty include those people who ordered those soldiers onto the streets last year and killed red shirts?
Amnesty is meant for all the parties concerned, not just only one-sided. One-sided amnesty is not going to work. One-sided amnesty is already done by coup d'etat, the junta. The coup d'etat always asking amnesty for themselves.
But you would like nothing more.
But we are not asking for amnesty for one-sided. If it were to have amnesty, the amnesty should be the byproduct of reconciliation. Reconciliation is a bigger picture. Under reconciliation, if needed to have amnesty, then it will be. And amnesty should not be for one-sided. That's the principle. The principle must be there. And the government should not be the one who do everything. We should have neutral body to come and do it.
Are you saying then, are you promising to the Thai people that if your party wins and you return to Thailand, the amnesty is passed, that you will not seek revenge for those who kicked you out of the country?
Never. I never want to revenge. We will not revenge, but we will resolve. What went wrong, we correct it. And we have to join hands and moving ahead. We have to move our countries ahead. We've been wasting time too much already.
So you will not go after those?
No.
What about the current government?
Well,
those who ordered the soldiers onto the streets last year and killed your supporters.
I think, if reconciliation need to unite, we have to forget the past. If we cannot forget the past, we're still talking about the past. It's no way that we can move ahead.
You've placed your sister Yingluck Shinawatra as the party's candidate to become Prime Minister, maybe Thailand's first Prime Minister. She is doing very well at the moment in the lead up to the election, but what qualifies her to be the leader of the country?
Well, she has more experience than many politicians, at least, and in the business sector. She ran a big company, let's say like AIS. She was president of AIS, the company that has more than 10,000 employees.
It's a little bit different than running a country, though, with all due respect.
Well, running an organization, you need some experiences. Country is a bigger organization. If you never run any organization, how can you be a good prime minister? You can see many prime ministers that fail because they never run an organization before.
So you think that a business background is ideal?
The organization management, that is part of it.
You have said that you do not want to be Prime Minister anymore.
Why need it? Because, my youngest sister going to be the Prime Minister. I'm too old.
What about President of Thailand? Because some people...
Don't ask me like this. This is very dangerous for me. Because, they try to allege me because of my popularity that I will turn Thailand into a republic, which is, I never think. Don't think that I'm too ambitious. I'm not an ambitious man, but I really want to get things done. That is the culture that has been with me as a businessman. So I want to get things done. I don't want to have ambition. Prime Minister is just a vehicle to do something for the people and the country, not because I'm obsessed to the position. No, not me.
I know it's a very sensitive issue, but it is one that has been brought up. The fact that some of your supporters are anti the monarchy.
No, not me, not my policy. Like I said, there are so many people in red shirts, which some I cannot convince them, but majority of them I still can convince them, but not all.
Your party is looking in very good shape for the election, but what makes you think that the army will let you form the next government, given they tried so hard to get rid of Thaksin Shinawatra, and here you are looking like being able to form the next government, but why will the army let you do that?
Why don't you ask the army? If you think Thailand is a democratic country, you have to respect the people's decision. You ask the army, not ask me.
Have you spoken with the army?
No.
Have you had discussions with the army
No.
about forming the next government?
No, I haven't talked to anyone. But anyway, if you allocate a budget, big amount of budget to have election, and you don't respect the people's decision, you don't have to call for election.
So
you don't have to call for election. If you prefer Democrat to be government forever, you should just amend the constitution that this country, they just need only Democrat. That's it.
If you suspect that the election is not free and fair, perhaps there's some army involvement, what will your next move be?
Well, we play by rules. You know, if the rules of the game said we win election, we win. If we lost, we lost. But, you know, the free and fair election, that is what we ask for. This is the first and important step toward reconciliation. If the first step has been distorted because of your rigged election, how can the other countries respect you?
So what will be your move?
We're not going to move. We will.
You will accept the result regardless. Even if you think it's not free and fair, will you accept the result, or will you?
Don't ask me. You have to ask the people of Thailand. I'm outside. You don't ask me. You know. But as a party, the party we play by rules. If the rule is not there, we just protest by law, according to the law.
Has a deal already been done between you, the military, others in Thailand to allow you to return to the country?
No.
Have those discussions been held?
I told my sister, don't worry about me. Let's bring reconciliation to the country and let's unite the country. And then whatever it affect me, if I can go back because the result of the reconciliation and unite, then I will go. If not, don't worry. I'm quite settled myself abroad.
That's not true, though. You would dearly love to be able to go home, see your supporters, get off the plane in Bangkok, say, I'm back.
Yes, and I'm back. I don't have to stay there. If I may go back, I can go.
You will be arrested.
No. If reconciliation happen, if things have happened, you know, don't really seriously believe that I'm wrong. This is politically motivated, especially you are from New Zealand. Huh? Yeah, you have to look at your country that you are very mature democracy. You know, if the mature democracy, the country are very peaceful. So Thailand has been peaceful before because of our democracy. But now when someone trying to distort the power through the military coup, things are changed. So we should come back to real democracy.
You're sitting here in the Middle East, surrounded by some intriguing, fascinating developments in the Middle East over the last few months with the Arab uprisings that have been taking place. Are there lessons to be learned for Thailand and what you have seen in the Middle East?
Yes. Many countries that have the uprising because they take their people for granted. So you should not take people for granted. You have to provide them with opportunities and hopes. If you give them no hopes, no opportunities, then the tolerance has its own limit. So I think Thailand the same. We provide during Thai government, we provide opportunities and hope for them. And after the coup d'etat, you destroy their hopes. So that's the reason why they're still crying for. So I can assure you that this election is about the people, about their insight. How do they think about their future? The result will be unbelievable. That the people, they will understand the people better.
And if you look forward to election night, July the 3rd, you'll be sitting here in Dubai. What have you got planned for that day? How will you monitor the election?
Yes, just listen to what's happening in Thailand and the result, and waiting for the result.
You'll have some champagne ready to go?
Well, we are in Muslim countries.
You'll have some celebrations ready, I'm sure.
Well, it's normal. If we win, will be really happy, and I'm ready to be happy.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.